The National Unity Bill, which I have proposed and which has passed the first reading, is a bill that I seek to address the issue of the unity of this country. We all claim that Nigeria is united, but in practical terms, Nigeria is far from being united. Ethnicity, religion have divided this country, and political parties have divided this country beyond recognition. And this is why we are not working as a team. That's why it's very difficult to govern this country. This is why it's very difficult to fight insurgents. That's why it's very difficult to handle the issue of banditry and criminal activities in this nation. Nigeria's unity is still a theoretical fabrication which does not reflect any practical realities. So this is why I seek for this National Day Unity Bill to create a consciousness of unity in our nation. We celebrate Independence Day. That's the day we assume we became free from the colonial masters.
Yes.
And that's it. But we have not actually celebrated our unity. And since the amalgamation of the North and Southern Protectorate and all that, there has not been any conscious attempt to really unite this country and create the awareness that there's no difference between an Igbo man, Hausa man, Yoruba man, Efik man, Ijaw man, that we are one people. This lack of oneness is what is giving rise to all these economic problems, political problems, security problems. Take for instance, the entire issue of Boko Haram and banditry and kidnapping, put all of them together, I don't think they're up to 10,000 people nationwide, yes, from what we see. So how can 10,000 people chase away 200 million people? It means that those 200 million people are not united, but the 10,000 people are united. So this issue of this national unity bill, they will really help us to understand the need for oneness. Another thing I realized while as a politician in this country is that our communication system is very bad. What this Southwestern leaders tell their people is different from what they say nationally. What the Southeast leaders tell their people is different from what they say nationally. What the North say to their people is different from what they come and say in Abuja. When they go back home, they tell the people, look, Nigeria doesn't want us. Nigeria hates us. We are marginalized. But when they come to Abuja here, then you see them interacting, visiting each other, having tea and coffee. So they pass wrong messages to the ordinary citizens. We leaders pass wrong messages to the ordinary citizens for selfish political aggrandizement, for selfish reasons. So we have not really communicated love to our people. We have not communicated friendship and brotherhood to our people. We have not gone back to tell the people, man, that look, Hausa man is your brother, he loves you. We've not gone to Southwest and tell them, look, Yoruba man loves you. We are one people. You know, look at your faces now, I can't even tell where you come from. We are one. So who actually brought this issue of hate based on religion and ethnicity in this country, and political parties? Most of the time, when you have your friend belong to a different political party, you stop talking to each other. You're enemies for life. So democracy is not meant to create enemies. This religion we practice is your comfort and confidence of your faith. And it must not be imposed on another person. So this is why I'm proposing for this National Day Unity Bill, where all Nigerians will come together, set the day aside, and to remind themselves that they are one. You know, if you don't do that, then this division will continue and will keep suffering economically, politically, and even spiritually.
Sir, a school of thought is of the belief that
because we don't know how you are going to achieve this. The belief is that Nigeria was not able to achieve this unity that we're talking about, nationalism at independence. You recall, we were supposed to get our independence by 1956, but a part of the country rejected the independence of 56 until it was put to 1960 reluctantly before we got that independence. So how are you going to assuage the feelings of other people in Nigeria to get this unity that we are talking about?
Time heals me.
Yes.
This is our forgotten. We can come together as a nation and say, look, all things are passed away. Let's start a new thing. I have my children. Most of their friends are from the north. In fact, they are very comfortable with people from the southwest and southwest. So, what will you tell these kids? I'll go back and tell my son, don't deal with the Yoruba man, don't deal with the Hausa man, the Roman, the Efik man, because what? What do you benefit from it? What we had before, we had myopic leaders who didn't see beyond the shores of their land. And so, for them to rise and become relevant, they preach the gospel of ethnic championism. Becomes more ethnic champion, and they don't see the larger Nigeria. I've always told people that it's better to be a director of a 1 billion naira business than becoming a managing director, chairman, chief executive of 10,000 naira business.
That's right.
But some of them want to be chairman, MD, chief executive, president of a small enclave, they call their community, where they come from, rather than being a director or shareholder in the bigger entity where they make more profit and relevance. So this issue is selfish. It has nothing to do with our culture, it has nothing to do with our people, it has nothing to do with marginalization. It just have to be with those little-minded, myopic leaders who don't see beyond their family's cycle. They are preaching this gospel of division. You have today, Africa, Nigeria is the lead because of our population, because of who we are, where the large market, where everything being big. How can you shrink yourself from being big to being small? Something is wrong with the person's medulla oblongata. So this is the thing, and they don't know that when we come together as a people, we benefit more. I don't see that I need for me to travel to Sokoto, I feel I'm going to a strange land. Or travel from Lagos, I feel I'm no longer part of it. God forbid. Let's make this nation. It's no longer for us, but for you, the younger ones, really. For you, the younger ones, to come. Because if we don't correct this in this land now, then that will affect our nation. And this is why this 2023, Nigerians must insist that the qualification to become a president, that you must be national in outlook. You must accommodate every tribe and religion. And you must be a bridge that will unite every part of this country. That should be #1 criteria, qualification to be a president. But if you have attributes of sectionalism, tribalism, you have no business here. Or those who think only about their family and their wife and their children and their neighbors don't matter, should have no business being a president of this country. Unless you want to go back again, 100 years backward.
But the thing is that we like to talk about some of your other bills. You have bills like more rules for traditional rulers and the Federal University of Creative Arts. These are some of the bills. Can you throw more light on this?
Well, let me start with the University of Creative Technology. Technology is the way to go.
Yeah.
And one of the gifts of this nation now is the industry of entertainment. Nigeria is the world leader when it comes to the issue of entertainment. Now, call it the movie stars, call it the musicians. You don't know how much we've done. We're the only country now challenging America. There was a time America said Nigerian movie can be produced in 5 seconds. Okay, but we're changing now. We're improving on that. Nigeria is popular today because of our stars, because of our musicians, because of our actors. In fact, I had a story. Like Mohammed was telling me a story that he was going to a country, and when he said to my Minister of Information, they said, "Wait here, remove by the side." But when they see Kanuwanko coming, the whole road cleared. So that tells you how important this industry is. But no attention has been given to the entertainment industry in this country. So the creative technology is not, I'm just giving you one aspect of it. It's a university that is tailored towards our economy. Because most of our universities in Nigeria is not tailored towards our economy. It's just go and read and have certificate and do nothing. But what can you create? In the movie industry, in the film industry, in the music industry, in robot, you know, these robots, animation. These are some of the things. So that people can be gainfully employed without looking for white collar job anymore. So this university is called Be Your Own Boss University, if it finally comes to be. And the Southeast is known for this. They started most of these movies, and they're very good at it. So encourage them and export it. This will give us dollar earnings. Did you know last year, Nido alone brought about $25 billion direct through this, what do you call this? Remittance. $25 billion inflow. So we need to diversify our economy in things like this. So that's why reason for that. Then the one of traditional rulers. Every society of mankind is created by God with their culture and tradition. No country or nation, society can grow above or beyond their tradition and culture. For those has a relationship with God, unquote, Okorocha Interview. So culture has a key to play. Every economy that is not culturalized can never do well. Every economy not culturalized in tandem with the people can never do well. So what we practice is strange culture and a strange economy. That's why I cannot do well with it. That's why I said traditional rulers, who are the custodians of our culture, must be given a role in governance. Federal government is taking too much. When government make a policy statement, and when the community agrees on that, if what the community agrees is against what government is saying, they will not do what government is saying. And I said again, unquote, Okorocha, the best form of governance is the one that allows people to govern themselves. You know, we're stronger at community level than we're stronger at state level. Okay, I give you a start. This is what is part of what is called Rochanomics, Rocha's economic theory, and I'm coming to it. That if you go to my village now, my community, and somebody gives us one cow for the community, I tell you, that one cow, nobody can take a hair out of it. No corruption at that level. Everybody must, and if you take one, they will beat the hell out of it. In fact, they will drive out of the system. If it's the eyes or the nose or the tail, they know who gets it. It's natural. But they take the same cow to local government, one person will eat it, and nobody will care. The same thing applicable to the money they account. When you bring government allocation to the state, everybody believes that that money belongs to the government. You take it to local government, it's local government chairman. Well, if you steal the money at local government level, nobody can give it. But take 100,000 to community, and then somebody take $1, that person will pack out the house. So natural check and balance about corruption. Corruption must be fought right from the community level. Then this is that one person supervises the whole world. This is not possible. I hope you understand the point. Yes. And there's no, this issue of security can best handled by traditional rulers. Let me shock you that if the amount of money given, to the military to fight Boko Haram in Beduguri, which is trillions of naira, take 1/10 of it and give to Borno people to fight insurgents, there will be insurgents in Borno. That will take me to another arm of devolution of power. Our community should be a best. As a governor, you name a state, I introduced what is called Community Government Council, which is like government at the community level. And it's the most effective government. That's how I stopped kidnapping. That's how I stopped everything. But then, how much do I pay? I give the traditional only 100,000 with the people. Youth leader, woman leader, traditional, 100,000 every month. And give them the name, Chief Security Officer of Community. They change their badge and they are working like that. And they made the impact. But I will have spent the same money given to the national security. I will give them 2 billion naira, 1 billion, buy vehicles. Then these innocent police officers and SS officers would enter the same vehicle, would afford it and maintain it, and drive to the community and pass the criminal without knowing that the criminal would be waving at them and laughing at them because they don't know them. But if I give it to National and say, where are you going to? Come. I catch you. All right, sir. I hope I get you more of the education.
appreciate so much. It was so interesting.
Because of your time, we want to stop other questions. Because otherwise, I want to ask you this. There's a bomb that you dropped.
Yeah.
And Nigeria should expect that.
Yes.
That a political party is coming a little to the left and a little to the right. So we want to maybe blindside.
Fantastic idea. Fantastic idea. And
when is the party coming?
Everyone should embrace it. What I was talking about actually was governance. Much more than party. And let people know that governance is more important than party. Okay. There's so much emphasis in party. And party does not change the system. Party cannot correct the economy. Party cannot stop insurgents. Party cannot guarantee food on the table of the common man. It takes a leader with a vision, a good man with vision, to change the story. So party, as far as I'm concerned, is inconsequential in a nation that is serious. But very unserious nations, party is important. So, we're looking for people who have something else. That's why I said, let the good people with vision, who love this country, come together and provide leadership. The name party will just come naturally. What does APC mean? What does PDP mean? It's just somebody who sat down in his house and come up with the name People, Democratic Party. Somebody just sat there. I gave the name APC. I just sat there one day. I said, what can I do about APC? I said, let me take. See, this is what I call PDP. This is called All Progressive Congress. We take All Progressive from Afghan, CPC, that's how I brought the name APC. I didn't bring it because there was a vision for leadership in that country. It's just a word I just put together. So, but what happened at the end is the leadership, is not the party. So that call, most people don't understand. I'm calling for leadership with vision, governance, and not party. And once somebody imagines party should disappear, party should be picked up as a basket to collect your members for a purpose, like a boss to go. But it doesn't do the work. The boss only drops you to where you're going to work. But boss can never enter your office and do the work. So party can only take you to where you're going to, but cannot do the job for you. So party is, as far as I'm concerned, means nothing.
Thank you very much.
We have another question.
Last one.
Is a household name.
Take your time, sister.
Okorocha is a household name. Of course, I heard about your name many television. And your philanthropism has no boundary.
North, south, east, and west.
So, and now Nigeria is polarized. People are directed at ethnic agitation, left, right, and center. What is your message to Nigerians? And what are your
political
plans for 2023?
You know, sometimes people talk about this, my foundation, without seeing the joy I derive from it. People don't understand the joy I derive from it. Only some weeks ago, I saw some of my children. I saw people working as military officers. I was wondering what they did. This one took back step and gave me a salute. Very interesting salute. Another one, police officer. Another one, Air Force officer. Who are they? Daddy. And then I know that one. I said, Daddy, we are students of Okorocha Foundation. I mean, the joy that goes to my home with me is much more than what dollar and naira can provide. So I find joy. And some of all these children, 75% of them have no mother, no father. They were picked up from the street. So from nothing to something is my joy. And that's what is my interest. So anytime you see me talking about election or running for office, believe me, I'm not doing so for anything personal to me. Not to have fame. God has given me that. Not wealth, thank God Almighty. Not anything, not comfort of life. But you see, in my 23 years now, going to 25 years of Okorocha Foundation, I can only boast about 25,000 children, orphans in school. Now I've gone to Africa, I come from Africa. But when I became governor of Imo State, just for 8 years, I was able to introduce free education up to university, and over 1 million people benefited within 8 years. So you can see that my seeking for political office or allow myself to go through this insulting projects called where everybody speak to you, whatever how they want, is just because it gives me a larger latitude to do what I would have done under my small idea of foundation.
Yes.
I hope you understand the point.
Yes.
Because if I say to Nigeria, it's not bad. 2023, I will make education free. Believe me, I will do it. Nobody, no child will pay 1 naira up university. It's vision. No child anymore. And when I did that in Imo State, women, before I came, women who used to sell wrapper and be cry at night. They'll cry at night. They'll say the holy chicken. So there's chicken being reared for school fees. There's goats being reared for school fees. Why they're not eating? Because they have to starve to pay their children's school fees. And one woman told me, said, they don't know what we did for us at Okorocha Foundation, as a government. Well, before now, her son was in one of the church school owned by churches. And she's a member of that church, a senior member of the church. But the day it came that school fees was not paid, her child was sent out of exam hall. So even church could not help at that time. Same religion we practice could no longer help at that time. And that's how this child missed exams. When I came back, the child came back to school. I just finished university. So you can see what most people go through. We have hypertension. School fees can create hypertension. When you see your children going to school, others going to school and your child cannot go, that school fees cost kids to become prostitutes in the university. When the parents could not pay, they just had to go and look for money by any means. Courtesan is also to look for school fees. Get a small gun, get money and go and pay for school fees. You don't know what school fees, the danger school fees has cost to this nation. I'm sure some of you who pay school fees can know it all about when the time for January comes. So this was what I'm able to remove from the parents. So rather than that school fees, the people were also able to eat now with the money they were made for school fees. Secondly, when I was at school, we were paying the children stipends. We were paying them 500 naira, 500 naira, 1,000 naira. So the woman had 5 kids and had no money. When she came back one day, her children brought 5,000 for her. And that took care. So, I don't want to speak so much, but this nation is blessed. That's what I'm saying. And if I tell that I'll make this country remain united and no more division in this country, I will do it.
Yes.
Because somebody said to me, I also gentleman said to me, said, how can any of us kill Igbo in someone girl when you left your hometown and build school for us? You see, small things can make people happy. But if you come to the Senate, we are very united. So why can't we bring some unity in our villages? Why do we deceive people by religion? Why do we deceive them by this? So you cannot give what you don't have. So what must characterize you, that's why some of us have said, let's 2023 there must be a new Nigeria completely. A new Nigeria divided of the states. I'm for new Nigeria, where everyone will see themselves as member of one family.